welcome to lecture 4 of our series here at Get Fit Plus. My name is Alyssa Monteleone and I'm with Simply Good Thinking. We have spent the last 3 weeks talking about, or actually 4 weeks, so we're session 5, my gosh, time goes by. So we've talked a lot about what to take into our bodies over the past 4 sessions. I'm going to review quickly. We talked about water, staying hydrated and using that to cleanse our body and keeping us hydrated. We talked about greens and the value of greens, both from fiber, nutrients, and cleansing purposes. We talked about actually doing a cleanse and protecting our liver, which is one of the most taxed organs in our system, and the role that it plays in our whole body. And while there's many organs that we really need to pay attention to, the liver is really important for balance of hormones and fat. And then our last talk was about ingesting the proper proteins and the proper fats that are going to fuel our body, give us the energy and the balance that we need to not only get through our day, but also feel great and succeed and be prosperous each day. So, while I do not like to in any way assign good and bad to food, I think that that's a really big mistake that we make from a psychological standpoint of saying, oh, well, I was bad today. Why? Because you ate something? That's completely insane. I totally do it all the time, but I totally think that it's not the right thing to do. Food is not good or bad. Food is either nutritious or not nutritious. And if you ate something that's not nutritious, so be it. Now, if you are eating only things that are not nutritious, then that's where the problem is. But it's not about being good or bad. It's about making choices that benefit you and choices that don't benefit you. Okay, so good and bad is out. However, there are things that we want to avoid because they do not benefit our body and they actually can harm our body. So those are the things that, it's not about eating a cookie or eating a bag of chips. It's about eating stuff that actually does not do our body justice. I think that the benefit of what we've done up to this point is we've said, here's all the stuff you need to eat on a daily basis, right? So you need to drink enough water for you. You need to figure what that is, but usually it's 8 to 12 glasses of 8-ounce glasses of water, depending on who you are. You need to eat all those greens. You need to eat, plus all the fruits and veggies. Don't forget about all the other things outside of the greens. Then you've got all that protein and all that healthy fat. Plus you've got whole grains, which we didn't even get into yet. And so you've got to eat all this food to keep you healthy and energized and all of that. And so that's what we call crowding out. And crowding out means if you get all that stuff in and then you decide to go and you have enough room in your belly to eat a cookie, enjoy it. Seriously, enjoy it. Now, are there cookies that would benefit your body more than others? Sure. Do you need to worry about that all the time? No. I live by an 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, I try to consume things that benefit my body. 20% of the time, I'm not so worried about it. The reason for that is I love food, and not all food is beneficial for my body. I have children. I like to travel. I'm human. There's a multitude of reasons why we can't live in the perfect world of always, always, always treating our bodies like it's a castle. I don't know, I'm really bad with those things, but you know, treating it like I don't even know what it is, but treating your body really well, whatever that thing is. So now I'm going to focus on that. But anyway, so getting back to the point, what things can we avoid that really are going to benefit us by avoiding them? Is that a sly way of saying that they're not bad foods? Yeah. They're going to benefit by avoiding, all right? So the first thing, pardon my English, white ain't right. Okay, if it's white, really consider taking it into your body. Why? Well, if you look in nature, outside of snow and maybe some beautiful flowers, there's not a lot of food items, and I don't know why I keep doing air quotes either, I'm on a thing today. There's not a lot of foods in nature that are white. And there are some, but for the most part, white food does not have a tremendous amount of nutrition available that our bodies can use. And also, it usually means, always exceptions to the rule, but it usually means that it's been highly processed, which means it's been stripped of all the things that our body will recognize and be able to use and that happens for a variety of reasons in our food processed world. So things that are white that aren't right are white bread, and you're going to listen to a lot of carbs coming out in this particular category. Carbs, I mean by starches, breads, grains. Those are the things that unfortunately get highly processed in our society. So we're looking at white bread, white rice. So along with white bread are going to be anything made with white flour. So I know I said you could eat a cookie, but look at the ingredients. If it says bleached enriched flour, what? Do you drink bleach? No, that's not a good plan. Why does it have to be enriched? Because nature didn't know what it was doing? No, because they stripped everything out and then they had to put stuff back into it, so they enrich it. Again, why was flour processed in the first place? Well, back in the early 1900s, and probably even before that, there were processed flours. But back in the early 1900s, they found out that a lot of the wheat and flour was going bad because there's oils in the germ, and so it was making things go rancid and people were getting sick. So by processing it, they were able to not make people sick. Very, very good reason, very valuable to our society as a whole. However, that is no longer why we bleach the flour. It's just, it extends the shelf life, but well beyond that. So white sugars. Sugar cane is not white. When you break down sugar cane, if it's just dried and it crackles up, it's brown. So if it's white, it ain't right. Next one is, and this is more of a tactic than something to avoid, because the avoid thing is in the middle of this. So the tactic is to shop on the perimeter of your grocery store. What you're avoiding is the stuff in the center of your grocery store, which we will get into in a moment. So by shopping the perimeter, that means that you're going to be getting what? Fresh meats, fresh dairy, fresh fruits and vegetables. That's pretty much it, right? Yeah. So if you look at that, I mean, that's all stuff that is basically as close to nature as we're going to get in a modern society, unless you're fortunate enough to grow your own food or be able to go to the farmer's market or live near or on a farm. I mean, these are all wonderful opportunities and options for us. But, for the mainstream day-to-day life that the majority of us live in, we go to the Stop and Shop or the, whatever grocery store that's nearby you, and we have to, make the best choices that are available there. So, again, shop the perimeter of the store. As you get into those center aisles, what are on those center aisles? Shelves. So does the food that on those shelves need to be? Shelf stable. That doesn't mean that they're not weeble wobbles. That means that the food inside the square box or the round can has to be able to sit there for a certain period of time. And if you're a food manufacturer, do you want your food to be able to sit there for a week and then if nobody buys it, throw it away? Or do you want to be able to have it stay there for quite some time and be consumed in maybe, say, a year, 2 years, 5 years? I mean, I think that there's food, honestly, that would be on there for 20 years, but they won't put that on there because it just makes them look bad. But let's face the reality. That stuff's going to last a long time. So why do you want to avoid boxes, cans, and bags? Well, the reasons I just said. The second thing is we're going to look at the ingredients that are on those boxes and cans. You can also get into what they're packaged in, which are usually plastics. Even in a can, they're lined with plastics called BPA. But those are, again, yet another topic for another day. But you look at the labels. And we've talked about, if you can't read what the ingredient is, it's probably not from nature and hence not good for you. The other thing is, how many ingredients are there? Now, trust me, to make a good marinara, do you need several ingredients? Arguably, yes or no, I don't know. But when you're looking at a list of ingredients and it goes over 5, really look at what those ingredients are. Ingredients are listed by weight. So whatever the first ingredient is usually what that is mostly made of to some degree. Shockingly, sugar is very high on that list, or bleached or enriched something or another. One thing, ingredient that you want to really look for is anything with OSE, because OSE at the end of the word basically means sugar by a different name. Dextrose, well, blah, 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 fructose. So more than 5 ingredients, really be wary. Ingredients that look like weird chemically names, be wary. So, and the other thing is, when they put things in quotation, in quotation, so then it's an ingredient, and then it lists like 12 ingredients after that to explain what the heck that is. I find that odd, that's weird. So that counts as, all those ingredients count. You can't say, okay, and it's made with chocolate, and then 18 ingredients to say what chocolate is. Now, chocolate, you know, those ingredients count too, so keep that in mind as well. Another thing that when we're talking about foods to avoid, and this is a really big generalization, and I want to be very careful that you understand what I'm saying here, but food that is highly discounted, or that there's like a coupon for a lot off on, how is that? It doesn't mean that coupons aren't great, and manufacturers, I've been in the manufacturing business, we use coupons to promote sales. New products often have a coupon because we want you to try it. The best way to get somebody to start buying the product is they have to try it. People, although we say we want something new and wild, we really don't. Change is not something that we always look forward to. So if there's something on the shelf, the chances that you're going to pick it up are higher if it's on sale or you have a coupon for it. So I don't want to discredit the roll-off coupons. However, when you can buy 10 of something for $1, people aren't in the business to lose money. So how much can each of those things actually cost? And don't forget that the manufacturer had to make money, the distributor's making money, the store's making money. So just keep those things in mind. When things that seem like you get a lot for a really small amount of money, just keep that in mind. What does that mean? Maybe it means nothing. Maybe it's perfectly fine. Maybe it means that, you know what, we had a huge amount of, you know, what if it's zucchinis? Oh, Alyssa, I shouldn't buy zucchinis. They were 10 for $1, and that means they were 10 cents a piece, and who knows where they're coming. Okay, maybe we had a high yield of zucchinis from the farmer's market. It doesn't mean you shouldn't buy them. It just means be thoughtful about it. Think about what you're purchasing, because you're spending your money on it one way or another. You might as well spend your money wisely. You know, we talked already a lot about you know, avoiding the hydrogenated fats, the trans fatty fats. Those are getting into the labels again, so those are the things to avoid. But for the most part, it's not that much. You know, you should be able to go and enjoy your food, go and enjoy shopping. Just be aware of what you're purchasing. What are you putting into your cart that you're spending your hard-earned money on, and what are you putting into your body that you want to be working for you for a really long time? You know, there's this really interesting exercise that I did during a training one time, and they said, all right, look at your life and where you are. So however old you are, and I was sitting in class with people that were 70 years old, 75, I think was the person that was the oldest person in the classroom. And they ranged all the way down to 18. And the exercise was, okay, well, the average person lives this long, and I think the average man is like 83 and the average woman is 87. And then you got to add things. So if you're, you know, active this many hours a day, if you don't smoke, if you drink wine, you actually got to add a year. So I was very happy about that, but I think it was only so much wine. You know, so there were all these things. So it turned out that a lot of people were living well into their 90s. And they said, all right, well, think about that. What do you want that number of years to look like? So even if it's 5 years, do you want those to be pain-ridden, tiring, stressful days? Or do you want those days that make up those 5 years to be wonderful, regardless of where you are in your life? And what if it's 50 years or 60 years? I mean, I looked at where I am, and every once in a while I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how old I am, and I'm only here in my life. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got like 50 more years. I'm not that middle-aged thing. You know, I'm not so sure that 40s are the new 20s, but, you know, still, I mean, I've got a long time to go, and I really want that part of my life to be as amazing, if not more amazing, than what's led me to here. So I have to take responsibility for that. And what we've talked about over the course of the past 5 weeks is going to give you the tools to be able to do that. So if it's white, it ain't right. If it's in a box, bag, or can, take the time to read the label. If the list of ingredients goes beyond 5, really look at what are those ingredients and what do those ingredients do. If they end in weird things, or if you can't pronounce the ingredients, again, think about that. What is it? And if it costs so little for so much, again, how is that? Is the cheapening of food, what's happening there? Is that something that really has high nutritional value that's going to benefit your body? With that, that's it for today. That's really all I have to say. Not everything takes a long time to get across. So I hope that you get something out of this, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.